As you rightly say about Cook, and let's dismantle this, during his second voyage, he actually was thinking, far from being a racist, about the impact of European expansion on native societies, and wrote, quote, "We introduce among them wants and perhaps diseases which they never before knew, and which serve only to disturb and the happy tranquility that they and their forefathers had enjoyed." Now, by the time the first fleet landed in 1788, Cook was dead.
Yes, he'd been dead for 9 years. So Cook was not a racist, he was not a colonizer, and as you mentioned, he was not even a proponent of colonization. He was a man of the Enlightenment. He embarked on his first voyage because he was supposed to set up an observatory to observe the passage of Venus. It had nothing to do with colonization. So Captain Cook was a man of the Enlightenment. He was a man of his time, of progress, of rational thought, of scientific progress. And this is something that is not taught at schools, not taught at university, and instead he's being talked about as if he's totally misrepresented in history.
Do you think no one from Rugby Australia would come on here to identify the difference between Cook and Arthur Phillip? They most probably don't know the difference, do they? And what they've been taught in the classrooms, who knows? But I mean, the curriculum teaches that the First Fleet constituted an invasion. The British embarked on a deliberate program of dispossession and genocide. And you make the point that the latest version of the national curriculum, version 9, I might add, contains within it a powerful but subtle thread which is woven into all learning areas that we are occupying stolen land and we shouldn't really be here.
It really does. It takes a long time to read through this version 9 of the curriculum, but there is definitely a subtle but very powerful message, as you say, that we shouldn't be here, and that Indigenous ways of being and knowledge are superior to non-Indigenous ways. That's definitely a theme in the national curriculum that's on its way.
I mean, you've done surveys, haven't you, in which 31% thought Cook was the first European to find Australia. I mean, Cook was a cartographer who surveyed and named features and recorded islands and coastlines on maps for the first time, killed in 1779 during his third exploratory voyage in the Pacific. But it was Captain Arthur Phillip who guided a fleet of 11 British ships carrying the convicts who effectively founded Australia. Do you think Rugby know the difference between Arthur Phillip and James Cook?
I don't think they do, but I don't think they care, because in this case, facts don't matter. What matters is virtue signalling and going along with this narrative that all white men are racist and colonizers.
What do you know or think that primary school, parents are watching us, primary school boys and girls are learning about Cook on the one hand and the First Fleet on the other?
Well, let's put it this way. They're being taught how to rap about climate change and sustainability.
Yes.
And they're taught about how to conduct a welcome to country before they're taught about Captain Cook and Arthur Phillip.
That's it. Why would Senator Bridget McKenzie, making a case for celebrating Australia Day on January 26, say that is when the course of our nation changed forever, when Captain Cook stepped ashore?
Yeah, she got it completely wrong, because I think it's a long time since she's read her history books. But again, it's not something that's taught to Australians. No. It's a massive gap in it. But it's so important. It's the foundation of this country. Yep. Everyone should know this.
Sarah Hanson-Young, in a press release, got 1770 mixed up with 1788 when she said, quote, "Despite an important national debate about changing the date of Australia Day away from Captain Cook's landing at Botany Bay, the government has decided to spend taxpayer money it's stripped from the ABC on yet another monument to Captain Cook on the land of the Dharawal people." I mean, are these people ignorant or deliberately misleading or what?
Well, I can't speak for them. I don't know what they know, but they're certainly not telling us the truth. And I think the problem is if you conflate ideology with politics and you get it all mixed up, then the historical truth and fact is obviously not important. It's really the political message they're trying to get across.
But Bella, just before you go, then what should happen to the education of our children in the classroom in relation to our origins and our history?
They need to be taught historical fact. We need to take politics and ideology out of the classroom, and we do that by getting rid of the cross-curriculum priorities. and we just strip the schoolroom back to facts. We strip it back to, this is what happened in 1779, this is what happened in 1788, and leave the politics and the indoctrination out of the classroom.